Hi guys, Richard here from Dadrail, and welcome to day 2 of 3 of our Germany special. Today we're travelling down to Wuppertal to ride on the Schwebebahn. Let's go. After a very full-on day yesterday train spotting at Hamburg Harburg and visiting the brilliant miniature Wonderland, our day starts here at Hamburg Hauptbahnhof, waiting for our ICE service to Wuppertal. If you want to skip the journey and our tomfoolery, we arrive in Wuppertal at 6 minutes and 40 seconds, so go ahead and skip the video and we'll see you there. So our journey from Hamburg down to Wuppertal takes us on ICE 787 service from Hamburg down to Hanover, where we get on another one from Hanover to Wuppertal. We have snacks for the train. We have Dunkin' Donuts. This is my first time eating a Dunkin' Donut. I can literally taste the calories. You really do know who your mates are when they're making pig noises at you eating donuts. But after half an hour, and much to the delight of the other passengers, I made a discovery that soon shut everybody up.
Hi, this is Fat Rail, because Dad Rail's in the quiet coach and he can't talk and he's not allowed to say a word, so I've come out into the vestibule to show you a vestibule. We're on a train in Germany, so enjoy, watch the rest of the vid.
'Lovely ride there on the ICE 4. We're down at Hanover, quick change now onto our train down to Wuppertal. We are hoping this is going to be an ICE 1 or an ICE 2, but we'll have to wait and see. Right time departure. Leaving Hanover, we settled in for the remaining 2 or so hours of our journey. Just about enough time to ask Dizzy some train driver questions. I introduced you yesterday briefly to Dizzy. He's probably one of the most experienced freight drivers in the UK. Say hello, Dizzy.
Hi, Dizzy.
Total character, as you'd expect from someone on the railway. Yeah. So, a couple of questions as we're on our ICE going down to Wuppertal. What's your favourite UK train?
HST.
Favourite train to drive?
The HST.
Why?
It's just a train driver's train. I really miss driving the train. It's fast, it's comfortable, amazing brake, amazing acceleration.
Favourite route?
It's got to be Exeter to Newton Abbot. Around the seawall,
Around the seawall.
Love it.
Just because of the scenery?
Yeah, you get a little bit of 100 mile an hour just to leave Exeter, so you got a bit of speed, and then the scenery comes after that, and it's lovely.
So I think it's fair to say in your railway career you've signed quite a few trains.
Yeah.
And quite a few routes.
Yeah, I did the whole of Kent, the whole of Sussex, whole of East Anglia, Paddington to Penzance via Bristol, via Westbury, and Partanuki and St Ives.
It's quite an impressive route card.
It's even worse trying to keep it up. I have a few refreshers in it.
I mean, you've done what, 25, 30, 40 years on the railway?
87 I joined.
87, so yeah, that's before I was even born.
Yeah. That really makes me sound old, Rich.
So in that time you've done passenger, freight,
passenger,
test trains, everything?
Yeah, I've started off on a passenger and then I went to do test trains for Serco, then over to GB, brief spell back with DB Schenker at the test trains.
You've been around a bit then?
And they're back at GB and that's where I'm going to finish my days off.
It's the big question, passenger or freight?
Freight, 100%.
Why is it freight for you?
Because when things go wrong you don't have people knocking on your door telling you certain names and why you ain't got it wrong, and you've got to explain yourself to everyone. With the freight, you just get put in a siding and you wait, you go.
Fantastic. So, what advice would you give to someone who was thinking about joining the railway today?
Think about it, just don't just come and do it for the money. yeah, the money's good, but don't do it for the money, because if you're just doing it for the money, you'll make a mistake. And it's so easy to make a mistake.
If you hadn't been a train driver, what would your alternative career have been?
When I left school, I had two choices: to join the railway or the Royal Air Force. And I should have joined the Royal Air Force as an airload master. That's what I wanted to do. A friend of mine said, "Nah, come on the railway. It's great. It's a laugh." So I joined the railway. But you know, if I would have joined the Royal Air Force, I would have been retired now.
You've been there ever since.
But I've been there ever since. But
you don't regret it though?
No, not at all, because I've joined up. I've got two great kids, got a great partner, great life.
And we've been over here in Germany now for a couple of days. Favourite thing you've seen so far? Keeping it clean, bearing in mind we've been in Hamburg.
Yeah. I mean, we had a great walk last night. Dinner was amazing. 10 o'clock, that was it. I don't know where Richard disappeared off for an hour, but it just, these things happen. No, no, it was really good. It was good. It was
And
really
favourite German train?
It's the Ice 3.
Ice 3. Yeah. Anyway, on to Wuppertal.
On to Wuppertal, and a bit of a dangly train.
Dangly train. It's the Dangly Bahn or the Schwebebahn. Dangly Bahn. Schwebebahn. Schwebebahn. Yeah. See you there.
Anyway, cheers everyone.
Cheers.
Wish you a pleasant journey. Next stop on train is Wuppertal. Today about 1:46. About your next connecting trains, I'll inform you as soon as possible.
Down here in Wuppertal, want to say a big shout out to the steward, buffet attendant type person on our train, who was absolutely fantastic and looked after us in style. Okay guys, it's what we've all been waiting for. Let's go and ride the Schwebebahn. Gentlemen, if you want to come to Wuppertal but you're having partner trouble, bring them with you. Plenty of shopping opportunities. So we finally made it onto the Schwebebahn. I'm absolutely fascinated by this, and one of the things that's caught my eye already is we are quite high up above the River Wupper. I think it's the River Wupper. River Wupper? Yep, we're going with that. It's just the kind of lack of safety barriers and stuff like that. There's absolutely nothing. The mindset and the mentality here, they just trust people to get on with it. The Schwebebahn forms a crucial part of the public transport infrastructure in Wuppertal, although it has become a tourist attraction in its own right, much to the annoyance of some of the locals, as we found out firsthand. Running for some 13.3 kilometres and serving 20 stations, an end-to-end trip takes around 30 minutes, and it's a great way to see the city. We paid around €25 for unlimited travel for our group of soon-to-become 5. So we've ridden the Schwebebahn down to the end of the line here at Ulmerbaben. I think that's the correct pronunciation, excuse me if it's not. And you'll notice on the train there's only a driving cab at one end, which is why we've been able to look out the back. So down at the end of the line there is a very tight turning circle where the trains turn around and head back the other way. It is raining once again here in Germany, but never mind, I am joined by Alex. Say hello, Alex.
Hi, nice to meet you all, and nice to see you again, Richard. Yeah.
Nice to see you again, Alex. Alex has featured on the channel many times. If you don't remember, Alex is a German ICU driver who's joining us today in Wuppertal to show us around, even though you've never been here before.
I've never been here before, no, but I feel welcome with all the British rain Rich has brought with him. So yeah.
Always take the weather with you. So I've watched Tom Scott's video on this, the Tim Traveller as well. One of the things that doesn't come across on those videos, and probably doesn't come across very well on this, is just how much this thing rocks from side to side. Not just when you're going along, but when you're in the station and people are getting on and off. It just rocks like a hammock from side to side. But I don't find it that nauseating. western end of the Schwebebahn travels above the river Wupper through urban areas, but as you travel further west, the landscape becomes very industrial. The final few kilometres of the western end travel directly above local roads and give some very interesting perspectives. The current trains on the line were introduced between 2015 and 2016. They are Stadler built GTW 15s. There are 31 sets in total, each capable of travelling at speeds of up to 60 km per hour.
That gives a whole new meaning to the word overtaking. So we're just coming down to the end of the line. So the train's going to do its little turny thing. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to stay on for that, which is a little bit irritating. And Alex has asked in his politest German as well, but they said no. But we have noticed trolley bus wires underneath us. That's got to be worth checking out.
Wollwinkel is the westernmost terminus of the line and where the main depot is located. Note the misting of the rails to help reduce flange squeal on the tight curve.
So we do have trolley buses and trolley bus wires, but it doesn't look like the trolley buses are running on the trolley bus wires. Something like that. So I think the architecture of the line above the river and all around the city is quite brutalist and maybe a little bit steampunk. But amongst all of that, some of the stations are actually really quite nice.
The trains are powered using a 750 volt DC system, and they collect power by a pantograph collector shoe type thing on the roof. Looks a bit like an upside down third rail, or should that be second rail? The line is signalled using in-cab ETCS signalling, which is slowly being adopted as the standard across Europe.
Continuing our tour on the Schwebebahn, we've come down to Wuppertal, where there is a great view across the mainline railway. So the whole monorail thing raises so many questions for me. Do they suffer from WSB? Do they get wheel flats? Do they have to put sand on the rails? So many unanswered questions. This is it, our final stop on the Schwebebahn. We're getting off for the last time. Getting back on a train. Heading to, where are we going, lads? Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf for the hotel. Courtney's got a little bit of an issue with a ticket machine here in Germany. What's going on, mate?
I'm got bloody Welshman.
No Welsh on the ticket machine. So we're about to head off to Dusseldorf for our hotel for the night. We saw some interesting DMU stock. So we've got to take a ride on this as it is going to Dusseldorf. Why is it interesting, Alex?
Well, it's called Integral, and it was made as it's sort of a prototype for a sort of a massive series of trains where they wanted to make double deckers and multiple traction, and it never really took off because of funding issues. But they had a lot planned for it, and they wanted to make lots of variants that could also be used with one another. But only 17 were ever built, and the whole thing was never followed up on. So they're quite old, and they're going to be out of service in the next few years. So
there's 17 of these in service.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to go for a ride on one.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
One of the unique things on this unit are the bogies, or should I say lack of bogies. Note how the midsections are suspended and have no wheels.
That's quite meaty for a demu.
Oh mate, I can't even explain what it is to be fair.
You can say meaty in German though, can't you?
It's Fleischer.
Fleischer. This is certainly an interesting DMU. Alex has just been giving me a lesson in German signalling, which is always really interesting. Thank you, Alex.
No worries.
We have found Dizzy's favourite station and somewhere he feels at home.
With the sun setting on what had been another full-on day in Germany, it's another great big tick on the list. I'd wanted to ride the Schwebebahn for a long time, and it really lived up to my expectations. It's a definite recommendation from me and all the group.
Finally made it down to Dusseldorf, which is our hotel stop for the night. Another fantastic day down in Wuppertal on the Schwebebahn. Absolutely fantastic. Riding the ICEs and that beautiful diesel unit from Wuppertal up to Dusseldorf here. Time for a few drinks, get a bit of shut-eye and see what tomorrow brings. Thank you very much for watching vlog number 2 from our 3 days in Germany. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back and join us tomorrow where we will be riding trains somewhere. We don't have a plan yet. We're going to go to the bar now and figure it out. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
Order.